Alright, ready for my next test here. This is, like I mentioned, a tile type stove with the burners all around the outer edge and an inner and outer wall. Only I made it out of one of these, one second. I made it out of one of these Vio cans that's much flimsier than an actual Kyle can. Same one I've been using for this design that I had shown you a minute ago. So I'm going to go ahead and get that going. Water's at 60 degrees. Oh, let me reset the clock. Now this one you do have to let it bloom before you put it on, so let me get that going while I'm talking here. So that one, you just let it bloom up. It doesn't take real long to bloom here. You'll see we fired it off at like, what, 49 on the clock there. A lot of these stoves, once the actual alcohol starts to boil, which boils at I think 94 degrees, I'm not positive, but I think that's what it is, you'll see that, look, it's already blooming. Now there's a little bit of a wind there, just blowing it around, but once it blooms, it's there. There's no waiting. Need to get that around the other side. Put that over there and start this puppy up. Sorry, trying to avoid my... There we go. See if you can see that. Started the time. And yeah, I just want to center that off a little better. The flames being in the center really help a lot when you're... There we go. I'm dripping really bad in the back here. Oh, I'm not centered at all in the front. I centered on the side and lost the back. Huh. There we go. And I am using the Boy Scout pot again, which does leave a air gap in the back here because of the nature of this. No hole being in the top of it. But we'll just see what it does. Yeah, and I really need to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that clock. There we go. Can't see it otherwise. So we were at about 100 degrees at 2 minutes last time. And that's a rough guess. And we're at about 100 degrees in 1:15. So this stove tends to go a lot faster than most stoves because of the thin walls. This is more similar to Tenny at Many Bolt Designs Elite than it is to the ones that Hiram's making. However, I will say this one does not weigh the same as that. This is probably 14, 15, 16 grams. I didn't weigh it yet. I'll let you know once I get done here. I'll weigh it and let you know how many grams it is. It isn't the lightest stove in the world. It is very light. And as far as gram weenies go, this would be a gram stove because it is in the 20 or less grams. I would think that would fall in there. Obviously less is better. So we're cooking along, and this is an odd bottle that you're not going to find very many places. It's just one of those little aluminum bottles that doesn't get made very much. I haven't seen this but at one store, and at Big Lots is where I tend to get it. They have 4 different flavors. It's a lighter aluminum than a Cottle bottle, or a Bud Light type bottle. It's a lighter aluminum than this. So it's not near as heavy as these are. And in the respect that it's not near as heavy, it's also not near as strong. It's not going to hold up a car or anything. It would probably be best to put it in your pot for storage. But well, that flame is perfect for that Boy Scout pot, isn't it? It just comes right to the edges of it, gets that sucker going. If anything, just a little bit bigger pot would be perfect, such as the grease pot might be perfect. But that is doing a good job of just encompassing the bottom of that pot. Alright, we're at 3 minutes and we're about 150, 140. $2.9, $2.10, $2.11. I don't have my sound on. $2.12. 6 minutes, 6 seconds. 212. That was pretty fast, and like I said, this one is a very, very hot type of stove. These have been some of my better stoves that I've used. These present the most jet force. There's still, and you can see how well this blooms. I want just to show you from the top view. This is one of my favorite blooming type of stoves. They just always bloom so perfectly. You know, you can just see. Oops, sorry. How beautiful that blooms every time. So I can see why Kenny likes his Elite design, because those things, those little jets, and I'm not sure the size of those, tend to have beautiful blooms on them. No pot stand required. However, if you did have a pot stand on this, you would have a lot of heat coming out of this design, and you would go through a lot of fuel. But with the center flame and the jets on the outside like this, you would produce a lot of heat with a pot stand on this. I think that with a pot stand, you could drop that time by almost a minute, minute and a half, at least. Maybe I'll do a video with this same stove and pot and see if that doesn't drop it with a pot stand. I just think that if you're a gram weenie, your goal is not to carry a pot stand. But for standard cookers that don't really care about this or that little gram weenie type stuff, a pot stand would get you a much faster boil time if you're just looking for fast boil times. Of course, you're going to have to fill it up with fuel because it is going to burn it off, as you can see, once the pot's off of there. And you open that center chamber up, it's a lot of flame at once. Now, another idea is this particular pot right here and this stove make a wonderful combination. Now, I don't have any water in here, but that's another one I want to show you. I think I've actually done a video on these two before, and we're talking 3-minute boil times because of the way the heat exchange works on this pot. So having the right pot with the right stove before you go camping means a lot. I don't know which one weighs less as far as pots go. Probably the Boy Scout pot weighs a lot less than the Etta Power Express. That's burning off there. The design, once I did this stove here, I stopped using my other ones because this was so light. This thing weighs nothing. And by nothing, I mean it weighs grams compared to ounces. A little hot, let's let it cool off. They do, because of the lightweight aluminum, they cool off really quick. I want to weigh that figure really quick. I don't know that I've given you a weight on this one yet, so I want to give you a weight on that one. I melt my scale here. 13.7. I wonder if heat makes a difference when you're weighing something. I'm not sure if something's lighter, if it's hotter, if it's heavier when it's hotter. Let me put it back on there. $13.7 grams. Almost twice as much as Tenny's Elite. But as far as crushability, that's solid. That is not going to crush. And that is going to burn good. So, a couple more videos I could do with this stove still. May do a few more here or there. I'll let you know once I get them up. Thanks, bye.